nenge wathi naku. Wathi woke we muito naku. Hey.
Hello, lovely people, and welcome to Conversations with Kalecha. I'm Kalecha Mumu, and I'm so excited to have you join us once again on this podcast where you are either watching us on YouTube or you are listening to us on Spotify. And I tell you, this is where love finds a voice. The beauty about being on this show is that we talk about different stories that are connected to something you love. And right now we're doing the love series. We're on episode 7, and so exciting that I have been receiving your comments. And I tell you, you loved the last episode. We could tell. And we know that you're going to love this one even more. If you want to be part of the show, if you have something to tell us, please drop us an email on conversationswithkaleche@gmail.com. And, let us know. Let us know where you are, what you're feeling about the show. Or if you have a story that would love to bring to share with us right here. Now, today, I want to just first of all say a big thank you to all of you who voted for us for the Digital Awards. I was nominated Content Creator of the Year YouTube, and I landed the second place. So that's a big feat. Yeah, you can see the certificate. It's beautiful. So thank you for your votes. Thank you for your support. Now, today, we want to switch it up just a little bit. We want to find out what it takes to win at love when it's seemingly different from what you have experienced before or what you grew up knowing. And we decided enough with talking to the ladies, because munasemanga sisi we can get sensationalizing about love. We're over sentimental. So we decided, you know what? It's time to bring a man to the show. Please, more men need to step up and come to the show. Thank you very much. We're very peaceful here. We just converse, nothing serious. So I'm very excited because today we have a man who is a legend in the gospel industry. Apparently, he didn't start there, but yes, he ended up there, and we thank the Lord that he did. And he is defined as a radio host. He ran a radio station. He's been a TV host. He has transformed himself into a digital master because he has an amazing podcast. But you know him best as a DJ. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Mose.
Hey. I'm like, keep going, Bana. I'm like, the person you're talking about must be really good.
Really, really good.
Hey.
It is you, Bana. DJ Mose, welcome to Conversations with Kaleche.
Thank you.
It is so nice to have you.
Asante.
I forgot to add that you're a father, you're a husband. Come on.
Endelea tu.
Na unaendelea ku DJ kama watu hawajui.
Yeah.
There's something really big that he's doing, and it would be lovely to see you support him. He's got Life on Life 3 coming up. It's a third service. It's a second event of the third, third service, and it's coming up. I'm telling you, DJ Mose, you're doing big things.
Thank you.
You're not playing with these guys.
Thank you, but I'm like, I have one life to live.
Yeah.
I want to die empty.
I love that. That is so powerful.
Empty, yeah, like,
and that means pouring yourself every time you see an avenue to pour yourself.
Every time I see an avenue, and even more than that, I just want to pour everything I can into the lives of the young people. Both who God has allowed me to work with, as well as those we continue reaching out to.
Yay,
yeah,
amen.
Missing a plan B.
Una plan B. Ndio hii.
Yeah.
I love that. You know, being on radio for so long, I got to know about you while I was on air. And I knew that you were playing music. I knew I'd gotten to know about the gospel industry when it was becoming a big sensation in the country.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is who you were married to until Willie Paul and Saizet said, DJ Mose, ukampa wake mzungu ae. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. I did not know.
Yeah.
So it was exciting to see that. I mean, obviously, not because people do not marry across races, but DJ. Decide niaje.
Yeah.
Where did you meet? Was it always your desire to marry a foreigner? How did that happen?
Actually, so I'd never looked at Debs as a foreigner.
Oh,
you know, like it was not in my mind at all. You know, mi nilikuwa tu na dem tu nimenoki. Kama nameless ni mimi na yeye. So, but I met Debs. So we were both in the same church.
Okay.
But what happened was I was part of Nairobi Chapel at that time.
Right.
And we were planning to start a youth, a young adult service.
Yeah.
And so it's part of the original guys who were talking about it. And then and we were talking about what can we do to get this thing going on. And I traveled to the US, and then I came back, and the plans had continued unfolding some more, and we planned to do a gig at the village market. And so mi niko kwa kijangu wa Roko. So the guys who came to pick me up was Pastor Kiama,
Yeah.
together with a guy called Mark Kioko. Wakakuja kwa hao kunchukua, alafu kwenda kwa ndai.
Yeah.
Inside kwa Subaru ya Pastor Kiama.
Yeah.
Kulikuwa na two dem fulani amebaki hapo hivyo kwa kiti ya mbele.
Okay.
You know, the co-driver seat.
Yeah.
So tuko kwa ndai mazee, dem anaongea ni mlami, but she's talking like a Miro.
She's talking like a Kenyan.
Yeah, it's like talking to you, bana.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, why is this chick from the US talking like, you know, like a Kenyan girl? So just be yourself and just talk
just
like...
give us the twang.
Yeah.
We can hear it.
So I was wrong on two things first.
Okay.
You know, one, she's not American.
Yeah. Not American.
And probably should be offended.
Yes, as people from different parts of Europe are.
And then the other thing was, like 99% of our friends are all Kenyan girls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So did she grow up here?
No, but she'd only been in the country for 3 years.
For 3 years?
For 3 years, but she had to learn to survive the matatu world.
Okay.
And the only way she could do that was by learning the culture and learning the language and by hanging out with these Kenyan girls or kamuingiza kwa system. So if you call my wife, you know, or when you have a conversation with her, she'll be like, I'm like, which Jungu talks like that?
So if I called her today, I mean, would have loved to have her, but I was told that she was busy with work and so she couldn't come.
Busy right now.
And if I call her today, and I don't know, I just want to speak to Deborah.
Yeah.
And we're discussing business. I think I'm speaking to a Kenyan.
You will. And when you have planned to have a meeting with her and you go to the office and she's like, yeah, I'm Debs, you'll be like, no, I'm the Debs I was talking with on the phone.
So that has happened to her?
Oh, many times. Many times.
So what was it about Deborah that, you know, just stuck out to you and you were like, this one?
Yeah.
This one. Because I was just looking at, you know, your backstory and I'm like, by the end of this ride, you had already seen how this person, this night, today, we are exchanging numbers.
Yes. So, so both of us had come out from serious relationships.
Okay.
And so on this night, they went to Village Market. And at the end of the gig, those days, of course, now there was no Uber. Taxis were going to be expensive.
Yeah.
So we were left at the car park, me, her, and Mark Kyoko, talking as we were waiting for the ride to come and get us and take us sasa. The same car, yeah. And so we bonded quite a bit, and I was like, yeah, she's actually cool people. You know, I'd love to get to know her. Changed numbers.
Yeah.
Then she lost her phone, and we didn't talk again for like 6 months after that.
6 whole months.
Yeah.
So did you think she ghosted you?
I know.
You know, the true Kenyan way.
Actually, no. I don't remember myself trying to reach out to her. And
so you took the number and then you didn't?
We didn't follow up.
Okay.
She didn't call me either.
That's interesting.
In my mind, I think she called me during that December, but she says no, it was the following year, just confused the dates.
Okay.
But I think mamas have one version, Jamas have another version.
Usually I just want to say that the ladies' version is correct because men, you know, the importance of the call when, who cares?
No.
Jamas,
there are certain events Jamas do not forget.
But the call, we are here now. Just let's talk.
Okay, so our version of event, same event, like in a different version of the same event.
Yeah.
So anyway, the following year, I got to meet her in March. I'll never forget. It was in March. I think just before my birthday, I went to Java Adams and she was there on a Sunday morning with a couple of friends. And so we exchanged numbers.
Right.
And we started keeping in touch since then.
Wow.
And we started hanging out. And so whenever we go to hang out, I'd go with my boys, just to make sure that it's more... We're socializing.
It's not date-ish.
It's not date-ish.
Me, I think I'd be offended. If you tell me we're going out for coffee and then I come and find you and your boys.
No, so,
I mean, explain.
I remember I used to go with the young guys from our youth group.
Okay.
At Nairobi Baptist. So like I'd pick up, I'd go with like K1, or maybe K2 and go and hang out with.
In a group.
Yeah, in a group,
Okay.
So... But that allowed me to get to know Debs more, but I do remember the one thing that stood out for me, Kaleche, and I was like, hapa nimeshikwa.
What was that?
We went for my friend's, so my friend's brother was flying out to Australia.
Okay.
And so he invited me to go to their house to say bye to Drew. And so I was like, is it okay if I come with Debs? And the guys were like, yeah, it's fine for you to come with Debs. So I went with Debs for this lunch. And then tukaanza kutembea. Once after we had lunch, I was like, okay, wacha tutembee mazee hii mtaa. And so as we went walking, I was like, man, this just feels right.
That's it.
That's it.
Guys, just a walk. Like just a walk.
Like walking in the streets, I was like, this just feels like I like this mama.
Let me ask you, even as you were walking in those streets, were people staring at you guys like, these two people?
And the thing is, we're not just walking, the two of us.
Okay.
You know, Akina Sairo were there.
Oh, everyone else was there?
A couple of us, yeah.
But you felt like it was just the two
man,
of us.
I was like, this feels right. And I think I held her hand that day. I was like, man, ni kama chanda na pete. You know, it just felt, I knew, I kind of felt that this is it. But it was not a smooth journey after that.
It wasn't smooth?
No.
Now you perked our interest. What happened?
Yeah. Because I was afraid of commitment. Yeah.
Was it because of the past relationship?
Because of the past relationship that I'd come out of.
Yeah.
And I was like, I cannot go through that again.
Okay, what happened in that relationship? It's
just the breakup was not...
It was not
easy.
Okay.
You know, and I deeply do apologize, you know, because I was like, I think the pain that my girlfriend at that time felt when we were breaking up was, I would never wanted to see anyone else go through something like that. And so I think I took Debs through a very difficult time.
You know, you're going to have to tell us what happened a little bit. You know,
no, I mean it's
just a little bit, because now we're here. Cliffhanger.
Because when I was like this, when we're like, this is not working.
Yeah.
You know, the pain of the heart.
Did you end it well? Did you disappear? Did you...
I didn't disappear.
Okay.
Like we sat down, like we're sitting down today and having this conversation, and we're saying, you know, this cannot work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was she expecting it, or was she shocked?
I think, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because the pain that she felt and what I felt as well when the relationship was coming to an end was it was hard. So
it's one of those, you know it's not working, but you're not sure you want to let it go because you've enjoyed what it was.
There's no beef between us.
Okay.
But
it's just painful to see it end.
It's just painful to see it end.
Okay. Okay. So there was not a drama.
No. Okay. There was no drama.
Okay.
But I remember when I was walking out, and I don't even think I've told a couple of guys this story. And, you know, when I said bye and I got into my car and I was leaving, I saw her cry that day. And it was a cry from the heart that Kalechi had never wished for anyone to go through. Like it was just hard.
And truly, I know that men seeing tears is a really, really hard thing when they see a woman cry. And if they caused that cry.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. And, you know, and you feel you want to do something, but you can't do anything. You know, so with Debs, so we started hanging out.
Yeah.
And we knew we were dating, but it was an undefined relationship.
Goja, hold up, stop the press, wait. So how did you know you were dating? Did you ask her to be your girlfriend?
That's the thing. I didn't ask her to be my girlfriend.
You know me, I cannot live like that. Let me just tell you, let the record state, I cannot live like that. You need to say what you're saying. Come correct.
Yeah, you guys are like DTR. Define
the relationship.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we have this undefined thing that was driving Debs up the wall.
Was she telling you that it's driving up?
Of course, yeah. And her friends are like, what are you doing with this Jama? This Jama is being an idiot, he's being a jack.
He's just hanging out with you, enjoying your company for free.
Yes.
Because that's what it translates to.
Exactly. But we're enjoying each other's company. It's just not defined as people want us to define it. For 1.5 years, I dragged...
Hey, I think we need a break. What? 1.5 years?
Probably Doris there must know more. Because we're in the same church.
1.5 years.
Probably one of the mamas was saying, leave Mose alone.
Because you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
So,
but I wasn't though.
Okay, you knew that.
I would really.
She did not know that.
She did not know because she probably.
She's so strong. She stuck around.
And the thing is, I'm not saying other mamas, she's the
It's
only one.
You know, let's
That's even worse.
let's bring it into today's world. What kind of grief would you be getting if you were trying to date a lady today
Yeah.
in this generation?
Yeah.
And then you're trying to tell them that we're just going to hang out for 1.5 years.
I'm not telling her though. I'm not telling her.
You're okay. You're not telling her, but you're hanging out. So meaning you call her, you say, "Let's go." You hold her hand.
Out, yeah. We
This
go
is
for
what
dates.
gave Christian men a bad rap.
Yeah, it is very true.
You are part of it.
Very true. Hey, let me when I tell Jamaz. So if you like if you watch one of the podcasts that I had with the dudes on relationships, vitu kwa ground in difference with with Ewagata and Pastor Reverend Ken Aringo. One of the things I said is, as Jamaz, as Christian Jamaz, we need to stop leading on mamas.
Because that's what it feels like.
That's exactly what I did.
Oh my God.
So for 1.5 years. He's
admitted it. Yeah. For 1.5 years. It feels like you're leading her on. She can't move. She doesn't know whether to move or not. She likes you, but you're not doing anything about it.
That's exactly how it was.
Can I just say that that's a reason why I'm still single? Because I cannot do that nonsense.
Yeah.
And people want to keep us we are just here. And I'm like, listen, if in 2 months you don't know what you want, please leave. So all of you have left because you didn't want to say what you wanted to say. You could have been married with 3 kids like the Jamas by now. It's your own fault. It's your fault.
Oh man.
Huh?
So let me apologize to my wife. Because
please take the camera and apologize.
Because the reality is I knew from that walk that we had in Runda that you were the one. And I had no reason to drag you on for so long. In hindsight, and I think I told you this after we got married, I was such an idiot. I should have married you within the first 3 months because I knew this was it.
Wow.
My only regret about my relationship with Debs is we dated for 3 years before we got married.
And in that time, you had wasted 1.5.
Yeah. And I knew she's the one.
So now that we're there, when did you now ask her to be yours?
1.5 years later. So I met her in 2005, like in late 2005, December, November, and let's say now officially 2006, March. And so I didn't ask her out until September of 2007.
Yeah.
And then we got married.
Now
October 2008. Yeah. And I engaged her officially 1 month before we got married, which is what I always wanted.
1 month before.
I was like, I cannot engage a mama and
wait
be engaged for so long. So by the time I'm engaging her, this is it.
So in that 1 month, you planned the wedding in 1 month?
Oh, we started planning for the wedding before that. Man.
Okay, she has a lot of confidence. I don't know many Kenyan women
my gosh.
who would have been planning a wedding and they don't have a ring.
So you need to understand first, I cannot, I had to fly to the UK because my wife is Scottish.
Yes.
I had to fly to Scotland.
Yeah.
To go ask her dad for permission to engage Debs.
How was that?
Yeah. That was hard.
Because
because
the Scottish are very...
That was hard.
They're waiting to see this kijana from the mtaa.
Yes.
The guy from the hood has come.
So please know, Kwanzaa, for us in our culture, the Jama never goes to ask for permission.
Yeah, I mean...
It's your relas. That's why you go for those rorashi, whatever it is.
They come and say, our son has seen something here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and the Jama is there to be seen, not to be heard. Like you don't
talk to parents.
No. It's your uncles who go and talk on your behalf. Sasa mimi kondo jinga nimejipeleka Scotland kichinjio peke yangu.
That took himself to the slaughterhouse.
That's exactly how it was, bana. And I had met the dad before.
Okay.
We had gone for dinner one time.
Yeah.
But he was there with his friend.
Okay.
Debs and I. So it was just the 4 of us. And we had a nice dinner.
Yeah.
But here nimejipeleka to the family.
But it is what they do in Scotland. You have to go and ask
for permission. And I wanted to honor that.
Okay.
To ask for permission.
Yeah.
So I was there for a week.
Wow.
I'm staying in their house. Wamenipatia accommodation.
An African.
Very an African.
Very an African.
I'm staying in their house. The whole family knew where I've gone.
To ask for the hand of Debs.
So we'd go for walks in the parks, and then the aunts are all asking Debs, so has he popped the question? Has he, has
what's
he
happening?
Asked? And she's like, no. They're like, what's wrong with this?
Why has he come?
Yeah, why has he come if he's not asked the question?
Even asked the question?
It was, but they don't know that it was very hard because it's it's very un-African to do that. You know, I say I'm not cultural, like I'd say I'm not traditional.
Yeah. But there's certain things.
But there's certain things I can see that are there in my life.
Yeah.
So what I did was the last day before the dad went to work.
After 6 days, now we're on day 7.
The last day, that morning, the dad used to leave for the house at 6:30 to go to work. I think it was on a Monday morning. We've spent the whole weekend together. I woke up at 6:25. Nikajitoa kwa room.
You go down.
Akiniambia hapana.
It's quiet. It's early morning. Nobody needs to know what happened.
At least I'm leaving, you know. So I woke up at 6:25 and I walked down to the kitchen and I asked the dad, you know, I was like, I really love your daughter and I'd like to ask for your permission to engage Debs and for her to ask her to be my wife. And he was like, we'd be very happy to have you as a son-in-law.
So you had panicked for 6 days.
Man, kumbe ningekuwa nimeulizia hii swali mapema.
You would have been, in fact, you would have even been thrown for a party in Scotland.
It, bana. I missed all those things.
You did not, man.
There was no
fear. Fear is an enemy. It's definitely of the devil and not of the Lord.
But I did not know what the reaction would be.
And I'm sure the man had been wondering, so now I'm waking up, I'm going to work. This guy said nothing.
He's leaving today. He knows I'm leaving today.
Which means that this whole trip, Deborah has been played. This guy who already wasted 1.5 years of her life.
Yes.
This guy who's come from Africa to come and, I mean.
Maybe they were wondering, what has he seen in our family?
Yeah, there's
Maybe
also
there's certain things he's seen that he does not like.
That he doesn't like. I can imagine now they were thinking the pressure of, oh my God.
Because it goes both ways. I guess now as I'm thinking about it.
They're thinking, did we ruin it for her? What did we say? Which auntie talked badly?
Are we too much in his space? Should we have allowed them to have some more time together? You know,
because I'm sure they were letting you experience Scotland. This was your first time there?
It was my first time there.
Yeah.
And then the crazy thing was, man, Debs and I are going to Scotland is beautiful. What you see on the photos is exactly what's on the ground. It's ridiculously beautiful.
And cold. That's the part.
And cold.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
And cold.
And so we'd go to these beautiful drives with Debs, Yani, to like the lakes and the rivers. And I'm like, Aki babe, I wish we were married by now.
Because you guys.
Hey, because apa temptation more.
The romance is speaking.
You know, but I'm glad maji ilikuwa baridi. Because anytime temptation ingepanda, mazina kusatu maji, handsome zinashuka haraka.
Lord forgive. but cold water helps.
It does.
Cold water really helps. When they say take a cold shower,
that's it.
Cooled you down.
If you don't take anything from this conversation,
take that.
My boys, take this one, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
If it's too hot, take a cold shower.
Take a cold shower.
Yeah.
So the family was accepting. The family was already with it, and then you guys come back, and within a month, you get married.
So this was in April, actually.
Okay.
So in July I engaged Debs, but then I didn't have an engagement ring at that time. But the ring that I'm wearing today, I bought this ring a year before we got married.
Okay.
Actually, it was a gift from my friends.
Okay.
And they knew I liked it because it talks about faith, hope, love.
Okay.
And I did not have a ring for her. And so I pre-engaged her before she went back home. So nishapatiwa ruhusa na wazazi.
Yeah.
Tumerudi nyumbani. It was in April we came back home.
And
in July she's going back home for her brother's wedding.
So you decided before she goes back, let me give her something.
Because she'll be asked.
Where's the ring?
Yes. So actually no, it was not that was a year. So I'm getting confused with the dates. Yeah. So I went in April of 2008.
Okay.
So in July she's going back home.
Yeah.
Of course they're going to ask her, so has he
show us the ring?
You?
The first thing?
So Kalechi, remember, I'd pangat this, how we were going to go out before Debs flies out that night.
Yeah.
We're going to go out for a nice date. We're going to go to Lord Errol.
And you had already made a good plan. You're going to have a nice time.
I'm going to engage her from there. Lakini, lo and behold, iyo siku kulinyesha in Nairobi. So I was going to pick her up.
Yeah.
It rained so much. By the time I was getting to her house, it was 7 p.m. Alafu kukakuwa na blackout.
My God.
So we're not going anywhere. So I was like, man, in her living room, I went down on my knee and I was like, this is what I had planned, but plans fell through.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to give you this ring as I ask, would you be my wife?
Wow.
Yeah.
And she accepted.
She accepted it. Although lazima angevaa hii ring na ingine mazia kushikilia ndio hii sidunde.
It's too big.
It's too big.
So here's the thing that, you know, any typical girl today will ask you.
Yeah.
If you already had asked for her hand and you already knew you want to marry her, why were you not prepared? Where was the ring?
I was saving up for the ring.
Okay.
And then something, but I'm glad I didn't have the ring earlier.
Oh, okay. Why?
Because God, it's amazing how God makes things work.
Mm-hmm.
So Deb's mom and dad, they were celebrating, I think, their 30th wedding anniversary or their, yeah. And so the mom was given a new ring by the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ring that she had been given by Deb's dad for her engagement had diamonds.
Wow.
And so she gave me that ring. And they were like, if you want, you can use this for Deb's ring.
Wow. Hey, those parents. Hey, those parents. They are so amazing.
I've been blessed with incredible in-laws.
That's amazing.
Like I feel, Shafiliani, I don't even deserve this. Like incredible in-laws.
That's
like
amazing
love. So they gave me that ring.
And now, it's symbolic.
It's symbolic.
It's a family heirloom.
So I took those diamonds and I went to my friends, Kennedy's. They had their jewelry shop at Grand Regency.
And you
had
it
I'm getting married. They were so happy for me, Kaleche. They're like, Moses, is our gift to you.
Oh.
So I almost didn't pay for that ring.
They resized it. They did everything.
No, they gave me a brand new ring.
To add to that one.
And they took those diamonds na wakaongeza zingine. Wakaniambia kuna zingine tukiangalia hapa hivi maybe ziko sawa, we're going to give you new ones.
New diamonds to add on to it. Oh, that's a blessing. So now let me fast forward a little bit. You've gotten married and you've started to do life together. Yeah. And, you know, there are cultural differences. I remember the last time I was chatting with you and you were saying, Mother's Day is an issue. We had our Kenyan Mother's Day the other day. So when is the Scottish one? What are the differences? You know, because we're here to talk about how love across races is and how it's been for you with some of the difficulties of the differences. What are some of the difficulties and differences?
And Paula, I talk a lot.
And yeah,
clearly.
But it's a good story.
Yeah. So Mother's Day, like you've said, is one of the cultural differences. You know, because in fact for us, Mother's Day was never a big issue until of late it's become a big issue now, where we celebrate it with the American Day.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's in the second Sunday of May.
Yes.
It's naijua.
Yeah.
Lakini ya England, ya UK ni kama haina msimamo.
So it's never a constant day in the UK?
I think inakuaga, lakini ni vile mimi siko rada nayo vile.
Use your in-laws.
I should use my in-laws.
Use your in-laws.
Yeah, but nowadays I've picked up.
Okay.
So theirs is in March. And it's a couple of days, I think, before Easter.
Okay.
So that's how they work it out.
They work it out around Easter, which moves around anyway.
Yes.
So you'd have to really be paying attention to catch it.
But I can also Google and see when the UK one is happening. You know.
And so now other cultural differences and also how people view you when you're together.
Yeah.
You know, the funny thing is racial interracial marriages are not a new thing.
Yeah.
But I find that there's always something that makes people in Africa react in a certain way to people who've married outside their race.
Yeah.
Same thing with the African Americans. They always feel like you cheated on us. Why are you going across? What's nice there?
Yeah.
And it sometimes can be difficult. I have a friend who is married to a half caste, a 0.5. And for them, he's really, really dark. And his wife got the more whiter side. And so their kids end up being 0.5. And every time he's with those kids, people think that he's the driver or he's pulling the kids or, you know. What are some of your experiences?
So it's so funny that you say that. So many times, there are a couple of things. So first, like that one, you know, the many times I'll be driving my wife and the kids and guys think I'm the taxi driver.
It doesn't help that you're small.
Know,
small body.
Unawapeleka nyumba gani?
Where are you going? Drop them and leave.
The Uchis have a way of humbling you. You know, bringing you back down to earth.
So how do you respond?
I go with it.
Yeah, I like it.
I just go with the flow. I'm like, they have no time to explain it. The other one was before we got the week I was getting married. So my boy goes to a barber shop and we both know this barber. And so he's David Courier. So he's going to a barber shop.
Right.
And so this barber is both our boys and he's like, hey, nasikia Moza na anawamlami hii weekendi. And I was like, yeah. Hey, Moza ameomoka sasa.
So because you're marrying a white woman,
a white person,
you are definitely
I've made it.
You've made it. And so You've married up and there's probably money. So you went
Yes.
there because of money.
So now my life will never be the same again because I've married.
And not because of Jesus. No, because you've married a Scottish woman.
Exactly. What they do not know is both Debs and I were not salaried.
So you are in the same place. So everything was
Man,
equalized.
everything is equalized. We are both getting married by faith.
Yeah.
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 You know, and faith is not the passing marrying us.
Yeah.
You know, faith is
Is
this
the fact
journey that we're
you guys,
walking.
we're gonna make it. We're
gonna make it. Yeah. So, and then the other thing that I've come to appreciate is Deb's family is very tight.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a way that she was raised where for them, having meals, they have meals together.
Yeah.
You know, for us here, yes, like at home when I was growing up, by 6 p.m. or 6:30, dinner was ready, lakini.
Not all the parents maybe are not home. They are coming late from work.
Or my mom and dad will be home, lakini. The rest of the siblings,
they're all over the place.
They're all over the place.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, meals were not necessarily that much of a family deal.
Okay.
You know, so that's something that I had to come and learn, and I've come to appreciate the importance of having meals together as a family. And talk. So us guys, when we sit down as a family, it's time for us to know how was everyone's day.
Yes.
What are your highlights? What are your lowlights?
Yeah.
You know, because it also helps us to be able to appreciate what the kids are going through. But then also now there's now, of course, where people think that now because you guys are married, people will always use our wedding as when they're talking about expensive weddings in Kenya. Mazi walikuwa wanatumia harusi yetu.
Okay, why was yours the SI unit of expenses?
What? Because I guess they would look at how the wedding was done and they assume that we spent a lot of money to get the wedding done.
Okay.
But they do not know the favor that God gave us with the wedding. Please kumbuka mazi, both of us are not salaried. We're depending on raising support.
And family support. Yeah.
But we did many things ourselves. Like Deb's mom baked the cakes for our wedding.
And I don't want to say this and it comes out the wrong way, but you know that's a very white thing to do, that they will make and do and build, even if it means we're building the ark, we do it ourselves.
They do it themselves, you know, and Deb's, the mom, the aunts, they all came together, they did the bouquets for every table. So we just bought flowers.
And they've set them up.
We bought some flowers and they did that.
There's beauty in being able to see that done.
It reduces the cost of the wedding so much.
Yeah.
The other thing that they did is Deb's grandparents were living here at that time.
Yeah.
They did these things that are called wedding. I remember the name. So they were like small gifts that you give everyone who comes for the wedding.
The favors.
Wedding favors. That's it. And so they were like a soapstone. And we also had Scottish butter, what are they called? Butter bread, shortbreads.
Yeah, shortbreads. So just a simple thing, but they just made them.
They just baked them here. So wase wakiongea kuhusu hii kitu, it's expensive. A lot of things.
It looked good, but what they didn't know is that behind the scenes, you had people use their hands and give with love.
With love. So there was a lot. And then now, I think the big one as well was, we had parasols for our wedding. We wanted that for our wedding, but we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
This is how God works. The venue that we had settled to do our wedding belonged to, a fellow church member. And so when we went to talk to her, she said, actually, you're looking for parasols. There are these guys who are coming to do a wedding the next day.
Oh, and so they can set up before.
They can set up before. So I went and looked for this guy. And he said, can we set up before on your wedding? I was like, we're looking for parasols. It was like even better.
Because then you reduce his setup situation.
Yes.
And you guys don't mind. You're not those guys of, I don't want to have the same parasols as these other people.
Did not care. What we needed was parasols.
You see, there's also that beauty of being simple.
The guy gave us Yanni. He was like, just maybe this amount.
And we are good.
And we're good to go.
And it worked.
Worked perfectly.
So it looked expensive, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so, even just looking at the family itself now, your relationship as you go on, you're very public, you're very out there. Are there certain elements that make it difficult for Debs, or she knew when she was getting into marrying this guy called DJ Mons? Because you exploded soon after.
I wish my wife was here for that.
I really wish she was here now. Sorry, Debs, you had to work, but
man. camera person. I record Deb's nice
So
one.
she can say something.
Yeah, but I think by the time we were getting married, I think she already knew who I was.
Okay.
And Debs has always supported me 100%. Like, I have no doubt that I'm the man that I am today and I'm where I'm at today because of the support that my wife has given me. Has it made it easy for her? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because there were times when Kalecha would be gone from home so many Sundays. There's a day when my wife went to church with our two girls. At that time, my son was not born. And then this lady walks to her and says, "Oh man, you're such a brave woman. You flew all the way from the UK to come and adopt two."
Oh, my God. Just because the father is never there.
Hazi hayuko church. Niko home Monday to Friday.
But then Sunday is the day you work.
Gone. So we got married in October of 2008.
Yeah.
In January of 2009, I started a TV show crossover.
And that was that.
I was gone every Sunday till till March of 2017.
My goodness. And you know, Sunday is family day. I've just died twice for you, Debs. I've just died twice. But even as you speak about children, you know, you stand out as one of the most amazing, strong Kenyan men who stood up and said, "Hey, by the way, guys, you know me, I had a vasectomy, family planning shouldn't always be on the woman." And I'm like, even the doctors, when they talk to a couple, they don't talk to the man.
Yeah, they talk to the lady. Yeah.
So how did you get there? Was there a certain experience that you guys had gone through that was like, we need to do
Let me
this?
tell you, it's called the strength of a woman. When Shaggy was singing that song, kuna vitu fulani alihata.
Yeah.
Like, it was the strength of a woman.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my wife and I were talking. So after we got Baraka, we knew she's the last born.
Yeah.
And so, of course, we went and sat with the doctor and he was like, if this is your last born, you know, then there are these options that you have for family planning.
Yeah.
And that's the point where the conversation stopped from being Debs and I to him just talking to Debs.
He literally started talking
it was very
to her.
obvious, yeah. He's not talking to me.
So even our
kwani
doctors.
maboys tuko na nini, tuko na family planning options ngapi? Tatu.
There's a Kenyan man who doesn't know there are three. Please name them. Please tell the camera.
So it's either, you know, you use a condom, you know, or there's what they say you remove before you ejaculate.
Withdrawal,
that's it. Or you go for vasectomy.
Yeah, get the snip.
For the ladies, the options kama tisa.
And they're all not very good for you.
No, they're very intrusive and some of them are very harmful as well.
Hormonal imbalances and such things, man.
So my wife was on the pill. So she was like, I do not want to continue with the pill.
Yeah.
So what options do we have? Of course, now she was like, you know, we're having the conversation. She's like, you know, what about a vasectomy? And I was like, yeah, it's a good option. The doctor talks about it, lakini, wanaume na sehemu nyeti.
Both of you, the two men in the room, I assume the doctor was male as well?
Yes.
So all of you are talking, but you're talking like this.
Because when he's talking about family planning, I was not there. It's Deb's conversation. So, but then now we started talking about it some more. So Baraka was born in May. So in August, we started having more and more of these conversations. And it's such a significant time.
Yeah.
And I was okay with it, but I was not okay. Like, I was like,
yeah, I'm listening, but I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, this thing for a vasectomy is not easy. And because I was like, it's men and their balls, you know. You get hit with the ball.
You know what pain it is.
Painful, you know.
But you get punched in the face. It's still painful. Then you go to the dentist.
Face has nothing on. You watch old movies when a mama is annoyed and she kicks the dude and then... it's hard. Oh, man.
So anytime you hear someone talking about them, the first thing you do is, ouch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, and that's why you'll see, even when I've had this conversation with dudes,
they kind of start, even the men in the room have just switched to their position.
The way I'm sitting now, in the position, natural, bana. So it's not easy.
Oh my God.
Then one time my boy comes and says, hey, by then nilienda ile kitu. Even if waliniambia.
And then you know, like, you knew what he was talking about immediately.
I knew what he was
when he says, I went for that thing.
Nilienda ile kitu. I automatically knew ameenda wapi. So nikamuuliza kuliendaje.
So
Akaniambia, yeah, he took me through the process. Like, man, this looks like such a long process. 2 weeks to go through this. But I was really happy that my boy had gone for it. And he was not alone. Walishikana kama maboys watatu.
So 3 men?
3 men.
And they said, we're going to go and we're going to do this. 2
of them, the experience ilikuwa poa. It just took a longer time, 2 weeks for them to go through this process.
Okay.
1, the Nini was not that, it was not as straightforward.
Okay.
He did not go to the best doctor. And so he ended up in a
Complications.
very, very complicated situation.
Okay.
You know, I was like,
So you're
man,
listening to these stories and you're thinking, too long, complications.
yeah,
No, thank
this
you.
This is not happening.
But
So it got
meanwhile,
now to a point where Debs was like, by the way, unajua kuna vile ikifika January, I'm not going to engage in any activities that might lead to another baby. Because I'm not using a pill.
so you do what you got to do.
You do what you need to
You
do.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't I like that? Because you
But-
see, that's kind of just telling you that this is also my body and
is.
that for me, I can't take this anymore. I love you. You know I do, but you just figure it out
And
now.
she told me, and I could see, you know, the changes that this thing has, the pill has on her. And she was like, babe, I do not want to continue taking this pill much longer because it's going to have adverse effects on my body. It's already bad enough that I've been using it since 2008. We're now in 2017.
Enough.
This is too long taking this pill.
Yeah.
I do not want to continue taking this pill.
Yeah.
So you do what you gotta do. But come January
Me?
2018,
Drop the pill.
I'm going to drop the pill, you know.
And so as a man and you're the leader of this home, how are you feeling?
I think I understood my wife. It was just the process of me getting to that point where I was like, I really do need to do something about it. So it did not take long for me to go through the procedure.
Wow.
And I called a doctor friend of mine. There's a guy I trust. So I called my boy and I was like, I want to go for a vasectomy, but I do not know who to see. Do you know what the amazing thing ilikuwa? The week before, yeye alikuwa ameenda hiyo procedure.
Oh, wow. The same doctor
The
had
same
gone for.
doctor napigia simu.
So
The
he
week
tells you,
before,
I just did it.
I was like, I just did it. And this is the doctor that I went to see.
Oh,
He's such a
nice.
good guy. So please, yeah, and in fact, call him. Akaniambia, yeah, level of discomfort, you know, is like a 3, you know, like utafeel ka sensitivity kadogo
So
to.
it's like when you go and get your tooth, you know, you get a cavity done and then you come out, you still have some sensitivity.
Yeah, kidogo too,
Yeah.
but it's nothing like that.
It's not even that bad.
No.
So guys, it's not even as bad
It's not
as
that
you
bad,
getting a
bana.
cavity filled.
So he gave me the Dr. Ochieng's number, whom I love talking about because such a good guy. And so I
Right.
talked to Dr. Ochieng. He sent me the documents. I read. I signed the documents. And he called me. Tukapanga ile siku nitaenda kwake.
Yeah.
So I think it was like that. I'm pretty sure it was like that August of 2017 that I went for it. But then even after I went for it, you know, Deb still had to continue being on the pill for like another 3 months.
Just for
precautions.
Precautions.
Ila kumake sure
precautions.
kwenye, you know, semen kuna vile spams
It might
hazipiti
pass.
pale hivyo,
Might
yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Wow. And
But
so
I'm really glad I went for
I
it.
mean, I think what my testament to this is that amid even our differences, there are some things that you will be able to do that up for the betterment of your relationship. And
Absolutely,
it's
Bana.
how much you care and love for your person that you can make a decision like
I'm
this.
so happy I went for it.
Yeah.
Because if any other option that my wife would have taken would not have been easy for her.
Yeah.
But why does she have to be the one taking one for the team?
That's usually the question.
And I keep saying it's not woman planning. It's family
Come
planning.
on.
And family planning ni hazina wife wakai pamoja. They plan for their family.
Yeah.
How are we going to take care of our kids? We have 3 kids, okay. Do you feel that these are the kids that you're able to take care of? You know,
And also because the cost of living, my friend,
it's not cheap.
it's not cheap.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
And the people who sit and, you know, talking about cultural differences, I've had conversations where people are like, that's an African.
Exactly why I'm asking. And maybe people said, you know, it was easy for DJ Moss because he married a white woman.
It's
and
really
so,
not that.
Yeah.
You know, because there are actually many African men who are married to African women who have gone to an African doctor
And
gotten the procedure done.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, you need to ask yourself what's best for your family.
Yeah.
You know, you and your wife, you sit down and you decide this is what we're going to do for family planning. As a Jama, you can decide to go ahead and take a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Or your wife might be like, you know, let me go ahead and get, my tubes
get
tied.
my tubes tied.
Yeah.
And most times that's what ends up happening.
Normally, that's what ends up happening.
That's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I want us to wrap this up. And I know that as you continue with your family and all the differences, and you are a tough man because you embrace it. The watchman says you're the driver. whatever.
sawa
What does
tu.
he know? You know, because
It does not diminish me.
it doesn't.
bana.
But there are very many men who might take offense
Yeah.
or want to defend the family and
Yeah.
call someone out. What's your parting shot? Maybe you can, just advise men on how to grow into this successful marriage. It's not easy. We're not saying that it's not had difficulties, but maybe there's something you can share.
Kalechi, there's one thing I'd like to encourage men. Do you want me to look at the camera?
Yes,
or am I
please.
look at you?
You can look at the camera.
What I'd like to encourage men is to say that if you're married, Yani, the commitment that you made to that woman, hold on to that commitment. I remember my boy saying, do not get into marriage with an exit clause because that exit door will open at some point. Itajifungua at some point.
Because it's even in the back of your mind.
Yeah. And so it could be an offense that's going to happen. And that offense will happen many, many times because you're two different people, two different experiences of life, two different perspectives, but you've decided to do life together. My encouragement to you is hold on and live to the commitment that you made to your partner. Conflicts will come. And I've had many conflicts with my wife. But one thing that we determined is we will never go to sleep without resolving the conflict that we've had. Because if you do not deal with it, you'll carry it forward. And it just piles up and piles up and piles up. And then you end up having a situation where you're like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage you, keep to your commitment. Make sure you and your wife address any challenge that comes, any conflict that you have. Please try and address it before you go to sleep, tafadhali.
I love it.
Alafu finally, make sure that you do not attack. I'm going to talk to the men.
Yeah.
Do not attack your wife personally. If there is an issue, do not make it personal. Address the issue. Address the issue. I want to believe that your wife has your best interest at heart.
I love it.
Anytime I've not listened to my wife, it has come back to bite my dear.
Talking to the guys at the back bench. Anytime he did not listen to his
Let me
wife,
tell you.
it came back to bite him.
Yeah. So
just remember, she's got the best intentions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's got the
yeah.
best intentions.
And man, let's love our families.
Yeah.
Love your kids. Intentionally spend time with them. You have to be intentional. There'll always be competition for your time. So you have to be intentional to spend time with your family. Let your kids know that you're a very present dad in their lives.
I love it. DJ Mos, thank you so much for being here, man. I mean,
Asante.
we could have gone on forever, but yeah,
You're very easy to
we have
talk
to
to.
wrap up. Oh, thank you. You're easy to talk to as well.
Yeah.
We shall do this a lot more. We appreciate that you're able to shed light that
Thank you.
there can be love across differences and that you can make decisions that are for your family, that
Yeah.
benefit your family.
Yeah.
And I hope
Yeah.
that there's a man out there who's been encouraged. There's a lady out there who said that, yeah, it's possible
Yeah.
to meet a guy. Yes, he may take 1.5 years before he proposes.
Ungewapatia tu time Kaleche.
Kai.
Ungewapatia tu time.
Aya, nimesikia lakini
Yeah.
ni ngumu.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Even as we wind up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about this. But I just thought, I think kuna wase ufikiria kuwa mlami it's a way out.
Yeah.
Like that's such the wrong perspective. A woman is a woman. Whether she's black, whether she's white, whether she's brown, whether she's Chinese, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just how God has created us all different.
Right.
You just happen to be black.
Yeah.
And the girl that you're in love with is of a different race.
Right.
Just love the woman.
Love the woman. That's
it's not about where he or she is from.
Yeah.
Just love the woman, or love. This is for the women.
Yeah.
Love the man.
Love the man. I love it. Thank you for being here. We
Asante.
appreciate you, DJ Moz. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this show. I hope you've learned something and you are feeling inspired to give guys a little bit more time. Ladies, I'm speaking to you and myself as I say this. Remember, if you want to be part of the show, you have a story that you want to share, you can email us conversationswithkaleche@gmail.com. I want to give a big shout out to the guys who dressed me. That is Spicy Outfits 254. Thank you so much. And to my makeup artist, Delish FSH. That is Full Service House. I love you guys. Thank you so much for your service. Remember to follow us on YouTube and on Spotify and come back for more. This is Conversations with Kaleche, where love finds a voice. See you next time.
Thank you, dog.